Donald Trump has outstanding debt on many of his real estate properties. Trump owns more than $122 million in personal real estate in the United States and the West Indies. From a New York penthouse to a St. Martin beachfront estate, Trump has many properties in his portfolio. Today, we will let you know about 10 luxury properties owned by Donald Trump. Number 10. Trump Tower, New York City. Trump's New York City residence is a gilded 3-level penthouse 66 stories up at the top of Trump Tower, his skyscraper at 725 Fifth Avenue. Barron, his 14-year-old son, reportedly has one floor all to himself. His offices were also in the building, so living and working at the same address was not new to him when he moved into 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. The White House decor might be a bit subdued, though, since the penthouse was modeled after the Palace of Versailles, with Rococo decor and a profuse amount of gold. Donald Trump's primary personal residence is in the Manhattan skyscraper that bears his name, Trump Tower. There are several other Trump Towers in the world, but the one on Fifth Avenue is where he hangs his hat. The building has stood for almost 30 years, and it's where the winners of the Miss Universe, Miss USA, and Miss Teen USA pageants live for a year. Saudi Prince Metie bin Abdulaziz lives there, as well as he owns an entire floor. However, that's downright modest compared to the apartment owned by Trump. The building's most famous resident lives in an apartment that occupies the top 3 floors of the tower and takes up 30,000 square feet. It's estimated to be worth $50 million, and it's considered one of the most valuable apartments in all of New York City. Number 9. Maison de la Metie, Palm Beach, Florida. Maison de la Metie is a 60,000 square foot piece of real estate that Trump bought for $41 million in 2004. 1 year later, on Season 3 of The Apprentice, winner Kendra Todd was given the $25 million task of renovating it, and she went all out, lining it with gold and diamond fixtures. In 2010, Trump sold the property to Russian billionaire Dmitry Rybolovlev for $95 million. That was actually $25 million lower than Trump's original asking price, but it's still a 130% return on his investment, which led him to characterize the flip as a sign of an improving housing market. When he sold the mansion, Trump gave up almost 500 feet of ocean, as well as a garage that can fit almost 50 cars and enough bathrooms for 22 people to powder their noses simultaneously. Number 8. Seven Springs Estate, Bedford, New York. In 1995, Donald Trump bought a Georgian-style mansion in Bedford, New York for $7.5 million. It was built in 1919 and was once home to former Washington Post owner Eugene I. Mayer Jr. The residence on the 200-acre estate has 13 bedrooms, 12 bathrooms, and a 2-story playroom and a marble indoor swimming pool. Trump had originally planned to build a golf course in the area, but he faced opposition from the towns of Bedford, Newcastle, and North Castle, in part because residents feared that the pollution from the chemically treated greens would find its way into the Byram Lake Reservoir and contaminate their drinking water. After scrapping plans for the golf course, Trump decided instead to build 15 luxury homes on the property and renovate the existing ones, including his own. The new properties were expected to occupy approximately 15,000 square feet on 10-acre lots, have their own pools and tennis courts, and sell for $25 million each. Number 7. Mar-a-Lago, Palm Beach, Florida. Donald Trump bought Mar-a-Lago, the former estate of General Foods founder Marjorie Merriweather Post, in 1985 for $10 million. Built in the 1920s and declared a national landmark in 1980, the 17-acre estate is a popular event site which has hosted both the International Red Cross Ball and the wedding of Michael Jackson and Lisa Marie Presley. It has 12 fireplaces, more than 30 bathrooms, and almost 60 bedrooms, as well as 3 bomb shelters. In 2006, Trump irritated some local residents when he raised a flag on an 80-foot pole, a height almost twice that allowed by town ordinances. He refused to take it down, and the Palm Beach City Council charged him $1,250 a day for every day that it remained aloft. Trump countersued for $25 million, and the matter dragged on for 6 months. It was finally settled when he agreed to lower the flag 10 feet, move it away from the ocean, and donate $100,000 to Iraqi war veterans charities. Number 6. Trump National Golf Course, Rancho Palos Verdes, California. Recently, Donald Trump spent time in the Southern California city of Rancho Palos Verdes, overseeing the construction of the Trump National Golf Course. While he was there, he stayed in the estate he is currently selling for $12 million. It overlooks both the Pacific Ocean and the new golf course. Today, the golf club is the third largest employer in Rancho Palos Verdes, with 300 people on its payroll. The 11,000 square foot mansion is actually somewhat restrained and modest by Trump standards. It has 2 stories, 9 bathrooms, and 5 bedrooms, as well as a 4-car garage and a pool. The home is meant to take its place among 50 other estates that will comprise an exclusive community. Number 5. Trump Global Real Estate. While Donald Trump may own a lot of personal real estate, it's his real estate investments that pay the bills and have turned his business into a global company. As a result, the Trump Organization owns a diverse portfolio of high-valued properties around the world. For instance, Trump World 1, 2, and 3 are located in the South Korean cities of Seoul, Busan, and Daegu. These properties are condominium projects completed in 2007. Donald Trump received a $5 million licensing fee for the use of his name. The Trump Organization also has international properties located closer to the United States. In the Caribbean, the company is developing Cap Cana, a resort on the eastern tip of the Dominican Republic. It sits alongside 5 miles of coastline, and it hosts the Cap Cana Championship, a golf tournament held on a course designed by former pro golfer Jack Nicklaus. In Central America, Trump Ocean Club is scheduled to open in Panama, a 62-story tower. It will have 450 residencies, a beach club, a yacht club, and a casino. And in North America, Trump International Hotel and Tower Toronto is a 60-story luxury structure with 261 hotel suites and 118 residences. Number 4. Trump Winery, Charlottesville, Virginia. Trump Winery has a long and strange history. To summarize, Trump paid the bargain basement price of $8.5 million on a deal that could ultimately be worth $170 million. Netting him 1,100 Virginia acres, including the vineyards and winemaking operation that had been meticulously cultivated by its previous owner, Patricia Klug, who defaulted on her loans, after which the property was seized by Bank of America. He installed his second oldest son, Eric, as president of the National Trump Winery. Today, the 23,000 square foot, 45-room main building, Albemarle House, is part of the Trump Hotels brand. A recent search showed rates starting at $299 per night, and while Trump said at a press conference that he owns one of the largest wineries in the United States, the winery's website itself states that it is a registered trade name of Eric Trump Wine Manufacturing, LLC, which is not owned, managed, or affiliated with Donald J. Trump, the Trump Organization, or any of their affiliates. Elsewhere in the state, Trump owns 2 homes in Sterling, Virginia, close to the Trump National Washington, D.C. Golf Club, that are worth $1.5 million. Number 3. Le Chateau de Palmiere, St. Martin. President Trump put this walled Caribbean compound on the market in the spring of 2017 with a reported listing price of $28 million, which was soon dropped to $16.9 million. Le Chateau de Palmiere, which Trump bought in 2013 and has used primarily as a rental property, includes 9 bedrooms and 12 full bathrooms. There are 2 villas in addition to pool cabanas and an estate manager's house on the 5-acre estate. The property also features a huge heated pool, an open-air and air-conditioned fitness center, and a tennis court, a covered outdoor bar, and billiards and dining areas, according to the original listing. Number 2. Trump Towers, Istanbul. Trump Towers, Istanbul is 2 conjoined towers in Şişli, Istanbul, Turkey. One of the towers is the office tower and the other a residential tower, consisting of over 200 residences. The complex also holds a shopping mall, with some 80 shops and a multiplex cinema. They are the first Trump Towers built on the European continent. The property developer is Turkish billionaire Aydin Dogan in a licensed partnership with American businessman Donald Trump. His daughter Ivanka Trump attended the April 2012 launch with Erdogan. Many businesses based in Europe and the Middle East occupy the complex. The residential tower includes the only collective wine cellar in Turkey, the cellar being built by Focus Wine Cellars. Among the building's prominent tenants is Iranian-born businessman Reza Zarrab. Number 1. The Trump International Hotel and Tower. The Trump International Hotel and Tower is a skyscraper condo hotel in downtown Chicago, Illinois. The building, named for and owned by businessman and 45th President of the United States, Donald Trump, was designed by architect Adrian Smith of Skidmore, Owings & Merrill. Bovis Lend-Lease built the 98-story structure, which reaches a height of 1,388 feet, 423.2 meters, including its spire, its roof topping out at 1,171 feet, 357 meters. It is next to the main branch of the Chicago River, with a view of the entry to Lake Michigan beyond a series of bridges over the river. The building received publicity when the winner of the first season of the Apprentice reality television show, Bill Rancic, chose to manage the construction of the tower over managing a new Trump National Golf Course and Resort in Los Angeles. Trump announced in 2001 that the skyscraper would become the tallest building in the world. But after the September 11 attacks that same year, the architects scaled back the building's plans and its design underwent several revisions. Do let us know in the comments what are your thoughts about him and his lifestyle. Please subscribe to The Luxury World. Thanks for watching.